Palma. Oh,
Oh, man.
pass. That's unfair, and Palma 7 points in the game. Janelle Fuentes.
Oh, wow.
Delgado makes the shot and knocks it down. Malonia is open. 3-point.
Goodness!
Face a jumper by Robin Celis.
Nathanielo has time.
Now it gets Martin Rosso. Turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness.
This venue has been a stronghold for the Pasay Voyagers for a long time, but this season they have shown signs of vulnerability here in their home venue, going 6-4 and losing 3 of their last 4 games dito sa Pasay Astrodome. And they will be going up against Zamboanga team, the leaders of the South, who have reinforced their lineup with Carl Brian Cruz coming on over from the Parañaque Patriots. Felipe Chavez had a good game for Pasay sa kanilang huling laro, and he would try to come up with another strong performance as he tries to lead the Pasay Voyagers back on the winning track once again against the Zamboanga Sikat Families brand Sardines. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat, mga kaliga. This is Javi Palanya, joined by Coach Mike Perez, and we have Miss Sydney Crespo at courtside. Coach Mike, Zamboanga has been perhaps the most pleasant surprise of this season, while Pasay has been a little bit inconsistent, especially with the absence of their star player in Lawrence Victoria.
Yeah, I agree. And I like that you pointed out that meron rin mga na-challenge na dito sa home floor itong Pasay because the teams are getting tougher. One of them, of course, being Zamboanga. And Zamboanga really be a very pleasant surprise this season. I love the dynamics of the team and pretty interesting. As we were talking about earlier, Carl Brian Cruz is going to join this team and we'll see how he fits in.
Well, we also will be watching the MPBL on our Facebook and YouTube channels, as well as on Solar Sports every Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. One of the big factors for this great run by Zamboanga recently has been Reg Gabat, and Reg Gabat has been super solid, especially on both sides of the basketball. He scored 17 points in their last game. That was a tight one against the Bataan Risers.
Yeah, 10-point average is roughly about 10.4 points a game, which is third in Zamboanga. But the 44.7% field goals is really good. 40% of those really coming from threes. And he's just been a valuable guy para dito sa rotation ng Zamboanga. Zamboanga is a team that loves to make threes and loves to have a lot of help from the bench. Matter of fact, they're number 1 in bench points and number 2 3-point makes. And Gabat's been one of those guys that's providing both for Zamboanga.
Well, you will be relying on Reg Gabat, but another reliable has come in for Coach Bong Ramos and Coach Egay Macaraya. Carl Brian Cruz, who played only 3 games, by the way, for Parañaque this season, averaging 14, 8, and 2. What can he bring here for Zamboanga, Coach? This time of the season, how can he affect the game? Will it be a positive or a negative for Zamboanga?
I tell you, this is going to be a positive impact para sa Zamboanga. The experience that he brings, and of course, let alone really just wanting to win. The guy is a competitor, and he does not want to go down very easily, and you expect a very competitive CBC here for Zamboanga.
Still very well within his prime, I'm sure of that. The former Gilas stalwart will try to help Zamboanga extend their winning run in the Southern Division. While on the side of Pasay, without Lawrence Victoria, this guy has really stepped in and has given Pasay a lot to work with. We're talking about Cyrus Tabi for the Pasay Voyagers, and Cyrus Tabi has been known more of a two-way player the past few seasons, played for Zamboanga, but here in Pasay, Coach, he has blossomed into one of the more reliable players para kay Coach Marlon Martin.
Tsaka, it's not just the leadership of Cyrus Tabi. He averages 24 minutes per game. He's third when it comes to points at 10.7. Second when it comes to rebounds at 6. Second when it comes to assists at 4.7. You just see kung anong kailangan ng Pasay sa kanilang team. Yun ang binibigay niya. And so far, he's been delivering. And you like that about Cyrus Tabi. And ako lang nagsasabi sa inyo, he's one of the really good guard that shoots from the outside.
In the last 5 games, he has upped his numbers from 10.7 to 12.8 in terms of scoring, and has increased his assist total 4.7 to 5.8, while also being a menace on the defensive end. Can Pasay get back on the winning run, or will Zamboanga extend their winning streak to back-to-back games here at the Pasay Astrodome. Let's go to Richard Tampos for the start of this game.
25 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 7 here at the Cuneta Astrodome, Pasay City. Time to meet tonight's starters. Let's begin with Zamboanga Sikat Family Sardines. Playing center number 1, James Una. At guard number 2, Chino Mosqueda. Also at guard number 15, Reg Gabat. Forward number 17, Abdul Sawat. Also at forward number 18, JP Kawilan. That coach is Bong Ramos. Assistant coaches, Aileen Libornio, Ian Valdez, Louis Bautista, Melo Banwa, Jeff Cotera, and Jose Pimentel. Team consultant, Egay Macaraya. Team managers, Ram Iraham, Alvin Muñoz. Team governor, Omar Chua. Team honors, TP Cao and Honorable Congresswoman Kat Chua. And now, for your Pasay Voyagers! At guard number 77, Dan Sara. Also at guard number 15, Cyrus Tabi. Coming in at center number 4, Warren Bonifacio. Forward number 9, AJ Coronel. The other forward number 13, Dr. Fly, Don Reverente. Pasay Voyagers is led by Marlon Martin. Assistant coaches, Vicky Escudero, Hubert De Los Santos, Adrian Boal, Don Moderno, Willie Generalao, and Brian Orog. Team consultant, Cholo Martin. Team owners are Raul Bacalzo, Mickey Ligot, Lavin Castro, JD Castro, and Leon Calixto Robiano.
Let's meet our starters. Our starting 5 brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Zamboanga will be parading Chino Mosqueda and Reg Gabat. James Una is the man in the middle. JP Kawilan, who had a solid game in their last outing, will be joined by the returning Abdul Sawat, while the Pasay Voyagers begin things with Dan Sara, Cyrus Tabi, Warren Bonifacio, Don Reverente, and AJ Coronel.
Yeah, Warren Bonifacio started in 17 of the 18 of the 19 games that he's played, and pretty much one of the key rotation pieces para dito kay Coach Marlon Martin.
The opening tip goes to the home squad. Coronel gets the lead pass. Might have been blocked there by James Una. Una has been one of the leading shot blockers this season. He had 5 blocks, coach, against Nueva Ecija. How solid is that?
Yes. And I love the effort of James Una. It wasn't that easy for him because a lot of man movement and ball movement para dito sa Nueva Ecija, but he was spot on those shot blocks.
Mosqueda working against AJ Coronel, turns the corner. Chino, a tough look there, rebounded by Warren Bonifacio. Sara has been in and out of the starting lineup the past few games. That Cyrus Tabi leaves that layup short. Coronel gets in between the pass, but Mosqueda able to get to it. The adjustment midair will not work.
Fast action back and forth here between these two teams. You kind of expect that, but both teams really love to do that. Hurried shot by Dan.
Early in the shot clock, air ball by Dan Sara.
And somehow it almost feels like itong dalawang teams na to really wanting to get as many attempts as they can. And pretty much it shows in the kind of game that they've played so far this season.
Well, Zamboanga definitely, especially from the outside, they are not going to be afraid to hoist it from downtown. Abdul Sawat, his first shot back from a long layoff, he airballs that turnaround jumper. Maybe some jitters coming into this game for Abdul Sawat.
Jitters tsaka gigil, no?
Ayun, tama.
And si Sawat, pretty much a guy that of course, aside from leadership, he's really a two-way player.
He has been the surprise leader in points for Zamboanga this season.
Right. He's what? About 10.6 per game, and leader as well in rebounds, 7.5.
And you love that a team like Zamboanga that is a high-scoring squad, their leading scorer only averaging 10 points per game dahil maraming players ang nag-average sa double figures.
Oo, totoo yun. And I feel when you look at earlier, we talked about Nueva Ecija, it's very similar. Ano? The scoring is pretty much well distributed. Whoever's got a good game is the one that's gonna score a lot, and so that makes it even tougher to scout them. Down with his second 3 attempt, he's 0 out of 2 from that spot so far.
That three-pointer off to the right. Zamboanga on the run where they have been very dangerous athletes. Gabat scores the first 5 points here nitong Zamboanga.
Oh wow! You just marvel at the confidence of this Zamboanga team. We thought, hey, Zamboanga last season was pretty tough, right? You know, all those guys, the Twins were there. That was a highly defensive team, but the scoring has really improved. And you look at their last how many games is this? Their last 5 games, he's pretty much done double digits. He's averaging 16.8 points per game, which is pretty tough. And the thing is, in all those games, he scored made at least a couple of 3-pointers.
He has been one of the constant contributors for Zamboanga these past few games, and his team off to a good run. Abdul Sawat scoring his first basket in his return.
And over that 5 stretch games, Havi, Sawat, Gabat rather, is shooting roughly 40% from 3. Man, that's a lot to contend with, especially you've got a good roll of a streak of games you've done that.
Well, Zamboanga has been shooting a ton from the outside each game. Bonifacio fakes the pass, trying to go against the defense of James Una. Turnover forced by the Sikat. Sawat leading the break. Change of hands. Left hand finish para kay Abdul Sawat. Back-to-back baskets for the former University of the East Red Warrior.
A quick 9-0 run here to start the game for Zamboanga.
This is our fast break of the game, brought to you by Extreme X Pop, personal karaoke speaker, everyday karaoke. Abdul Sawat even wanted a foul there. 4 straight points para kay Abdul Sawat. And there you see Kamkatsua as well as Sir Jobin in the house here para sa Zamboanga. We'll take a short break. 9-0 start here for the Sika. Last game, Zamboanga was involved in another tight one, this time against the Bataan Risers, but they held on for that victory. This happened last June 19 at the Inares Arena in Pasig. Coach Bong Ramos and company getting their 14th win of the season after that heartbreaking loss to Nueva Ecija in Palayan City.
Yeah, they were actually trailing by 6 at the half. They went on a 10-point run. They got the lead in the third, but you know, Bataan really pretty much a tough nut in that game. Talagang lumalaban din eh. Palag. Ooh, what's that?
Ooh, Chino Mosqueda holding on to his left knee.
Oh wow, something you don't want to see.
He kind of had to decelerate, trying to evade the defense on that move to the basket. And I don't know kung naramdaman niya na agad dun sa paglanding niya or dahil nabagsakan siya dito ni AJ Coronel. Here's his landing. There, he lands quite awkwardly. Medyo sa gilid ng paa niya yung landing niya eh.
Oh yeah.
Tapos na bagsakan pa dito ni AJ Coronel. Of course, definitely not something that AJ meant. It was just really his momentum going down.
That's right.
He looks okay. This is definitely a good sight. He was able to stand back on his own.
Right, and that's always a good sign. And you know, Chino has been one of the key guard rotations para dito sa Zamboanga. Roughly plays about 15 minutes per game. at 4 points, but he's shooting at 47% from the field, 33% from three. You know, these little things that Chino actually brings to Zamboanga helps them a lot, especially yung mga punto na hindi tayo masyado makascore or nagra-run. It's his leadership that kicks in aside from those numbers.
I can tell you, Coach, I've been pleasantly surprised with how Mosqueda has developed into this kind of leader as a point guard. Oh, Una denying access there. Mosqueda picks it up. The no look to Gabat, and Gabat will score 13-0.
And this is kind of like a reminder that this Zamboanga team almost beat Nueva Ecija a couple of weeks back.
And many people would argue that had Roy Sumang not been sidelined by that injury on his ankle, things might have been different. Of course, you know, that's going to be something that we're never going to find out. But, you know, you just can't help but try and think what if it.
Most definitely, as you see this drive right here and that clean block by James Una, and another one. It's a couple already. Shot blocks by James Una.
James Una, number 5 in the league in terms of shot blocks, 1.4 shot blocks per game, and he is in elite company there. Alabanza, Gonzalez, Destacamento, and Quintariar, leading interior defenders this season.
And it's just being consistent to who he was from last season and just being better. Ito si James Una, as we finally see a knockdown 3 from Warren Bonifacio. In my opinion, Javi, this is where you miss a Lawrence Victoria. I mean, when you're having difficulty scoring, he is actually the one to break down that defender and find, you know, where the help is coming from and understanding when to throw it out and spray it to his teammates.
Bonifacio back to Cyrus Tabi. Salenga attacks the closeout, kicks it back out to Bonifacio. Another 3 on the way, puts it in, plus a foul.
That is where the other Voyagers should take the lead from Warren Bonifacio.
This is our 3-point shot of the game, brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. Overly aggressive on the closeout. Ito si Abdul Sao at Bonifacio putting in his second 3 of the game, but looks like Zamboanga will be challenging the call. Coach Bong Ramos utilizing his coach's challenge here in the first quarter. We're past the halfway point here of quarter number 1. 13-6 ang ating tala dito. We'll be back.
The challenge made by Zamboanga was successful. The 3-point basket is good, but there was no foul.
It's a successful challenge for Coach Bong Ramos. The 3-pointer will count, pero hindi matatawagan ng foul si Abdul Sawat. Take a look at it again. Bonifacio launches the three.
Oh, yeah.
Na mukhang di naman natamaan. Eh,
Yes, yes. Mukhang wala.
Nag-react lang si Bonifacio dun sa close-out.
Right. Kaya si Sawat signal kagad, he wants that challenge, and rightfully so.
Coach Marlon Martin and his squad down by 7. Michael Are pumasok na dito. Pati si John Arthur Calisay and Med Salim for Zamboanga. Pasay forces a turnover here against Zamboanga.
One other thing that you like about Zamboanga, this is a deep rotation team. They're number 1 when it comes to bench points. 47 points off the bench per game. And that's almost half of your score.
And that team effort has really translated into the success that they're having. That's why they're number 1 right now in the South. It could have been the first opponents to pin a loss on Nueva Ecija, but lost by 1. Michael Are knocking it down from the outside.
Tsaka yung mga guardia, relentless, no?
They're like dogs, coach.
Oo.
I tell you.
Oh. Which is what we saw in that game with Nueva Ecija. They just really refused to back down.
It's a testament to the culture that coaches Egay and Bong have established. The physical conditioning that their conditioning coaches have really prepared them for. That's why they're able to play up and down the entire 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. And yung improvement dito sa Zamboanga, they're better in scoring because they have more shot attempts. And again, it goes back to that bench point, which is almost 10 more points from that of last season.
Bonifacio hands it off to Coronel. 10 hinahabol ng Pasay. Coronel had trouble with the rock. Last touch, Zamboanga.
You see, these things that they're trying to do right now, Cyrus Tabi was doing it, AJ Coronel now, earlier it was Dan Sara. These are the things that Lawrence Victoria would do. Break down the primary defense, attack the gaps, and make good reads and make decisions.
Victoria has missed a number of games and is expected to return, I think, in July pa eh.
Yes, too risky a pass.
Are left open, too strong. Long rebound goes to Reg Gabat. Under 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Calisay to Sena, looks inside, decides to take the shot himself. It's him, Sena knocks it down.
Earlier we talked about Rob Celis and Will Macaloni being really good, slot, big-to-big action. But these guys from Zamboanga also very impressive on that high-low action. I mean, you got Salim, you got James Sena, maybe later Carl Brian Cruz. It's a deep, big rotation.
Gabat sets for 3. That one's short, but box out by Warren Bonifacio. Nasa loob na si Mark Sanko para sa Pasay. Sanko finishing with the offhand plus the foul.
A lot of effort by Sanko right there. And Sanko pretty much is one of the scorers that they try to look at if you're the Voyagers.
This is our fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme Explain on the Go speaker. Take your music anywhere. And Sanko taking it to the rack and finishing strong with his weak hand. One of the few lefties here in the league who can go and finish with either hand. Ito si Mark Sanko.
Oh, yes.
Couldn't get the friendly bounce on the free throw attempt. 10 pa rin ng lamang dito ng Zamboanga. 2 minutes to play, quarter number 1. Calisay forces up a shot that puts it in. Zamboanga shooting at a staggering 53%. Chavez, what's on the breaks and puts up the shot. Top scored for Pasay. And their loss to Gensan in this very building.
Yes.
That was a 6-point loss for the Voyagers.
And that's one other guy that's got to take the slot missing from Lawrence Victoria, Felipe Chavez.
Tabi, I think, got Altamirano in the face there as Ichi made a move to the basket. That's going to be the first laban kay Cyrus Tabi.
And the guards of Zamboanga are actually putting a lot of pressure defensively on whoever's guarding them because they practically try and go inside and attack the defense.
I think the foul was against Damian Lasco. Sorry, no. Was it Jasper Salenga?
I think that was on Jasper.
Yeah, Salenga. Altamirano makes the first free throw. Coach Bong Ramos and his squad still enjoying the top spot in the Southern Division. Only with 3 losses this season. 14 wins for the Zamboanga Sikat Families brand Sardines. And coming into this year, nobody really expected them to play this good. Everybody knew that they were going to be competitive, but not this successful.
Yeah, and Altamirano in the 2 big games against Nueva Ecija and Batangas have actually been pretty good. He's averaged 17.5 points in those 2 games. However, in their last game against Bataan, he only scored 4 points. And so that shows you how much versatility Ichi can be para dito sa Zamboanga. It's kind of like how Chino is.
Hilario steps in for the 3 and knocks it down. 8-point lead para sa Zamboanga.
And Pasay is really taking it to them, that 3-point game. I mean, you can hit a shot from the outside. We can do that too.
Chavez gives it back to Sena. Fall away jumper rolls out.
Run it down real quick.
27 seconds. Chavez, Salenga, catch and shoot. 3-pointer down the drain. Back-to-back threes for the Voyagers. And the crowd in here all riled up at the Pasay Astrodome.
I like the aggressiveness of a Jasper Salenga. I was about to say Pat. Jasper Salenga. The aggressiveness, understanding that I don't have a defender right in front of me. I can rise up and take that shot. Kanina, nakailan siya. He hesitated. He put the ball on the floor and passed it to someone else. You got to understand when you're free, especially as Felipe, sets you up for this really good swing pass. You got to knock it down.
Shoulders squared, feet set. Salenga with that triple. 4 seconds left. Altamirano trying to look for a teammate to pass to. Kalisay launches. That's way off the mark. And that's gonna do it para sa ating unang yugto. Zamboanga Sikat were off to a hot start. Held Pasay scoreless for the first 5 minutes of this game. But then the Voyagers responding with a furious rally in the last minute of this quarter.
And after that 9-0 start, they started to collect themselves and understand, we got to get involved together as a team. And while we don't have one of our primary scorers, we still have each other. And exactly one of those guys right there, Salenga, got to knock down those threes alongside Warren Bonifacio.
Back-to-back threes courtesy of Jasper Salenga and Brian Hilario for the Pasay Voyagers, helping them to get within 5 points of the Zamboanga Sikat Families brand Sardines. Check out our special deal from 1xBet when you scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Let's check in with Sydney Crespo at courtside.
Happy Coach Mike, I have updates about several key players of Zamboanga. Nagbabalik na ang kanilang reliable vet Roy Sumang after spraining his ankle 3 weeks ago. He has recovered very well daw, but he admits nagiging concern for him na palagi na lang siya na-aksidente in game at aminado siya na nagiging challenging na rin yung recovery with his age. For Ichi Altamirano, if you remember, Javi, we covered that game where he suffered a whiplash noon, apektuhan yung eyesight at nahilo siya basically the entire game, and now he still feels the same actually. It's been 11 days since that incident at madali pa rin daw siyang mahilo o mapagod. Sabi ko, mababawasan ba ang minuto mo dahil dyan? Sabi niya, actually hindi, kinakaya ko naman. And of course, you guys already talked about this guy. CBC reunites with Coach Egay after 10 years so nag-champion sila sa PBA D-League. Kwento niya, tinawagan na pala siya ni Coach Egay before the season, pero buti na lang at tumawag daw ulit this month and welcomed him to Zamboanga. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Sid. Well, that definitely is gonna be a big boost to their stock. Ito si Carl Bryant Cruz, who is now in action for the Zamboanga Sikat. 44% for them in that first quarter, while Pasay shot 33%. Actually, Zamboanga shot higher in the first minutes of that quarter. They were up to 53%.
Right, agree. And you see the three-point shooting right there, 2 of 4 versus 4 out of 12 for Zamboanga and Pasay respectively. And you like to think Zamboanga is the one making more of the three-point attempts. But right now, it's more of Pasay trying to give it to them.
Yeah, the #1 team in terms of draining it from the outside. Mukhang natamaan dito si Felipe Chavez. Let's see what happened.
The knee on knee.
Oh, yeah. I think yung paa yata yung tumama sa tuhod.
Oo.
Nakasipa yata. It took a while for him to walk it off, but here he is trooping back to the bench. Cyrus Tabi will come in.
Hope he's okay. Because the rotation's already, very short para dito kay Coach Marlon Martin.
Unang pasok rin sa laro na to para kay Roy Sumang. Well, let's see how he can fare in this game after that injury. Sidney mentioned that maganda naman na naging kanyang recovery.
Oo.
At parang maganda nga dahil nakapagpakulay pa nga ng buhok. Salenga swishes it through. This is just a 3-point deficit that Pasay is trying to come back from.
Jasper Salenga has actually improved his scoring, doubling his points in the last 4 games. He averages 9.5 points per game, double digit in the last 3 games. In the first 13, he was only getting 4 points per game. And so you see that aggressiveness to score para dito kay Salenga. But man, they make you pay itong Zamboanga.
Well, if you talk about aggressiveness to score, Abdul Sawat has just been that this season para sa Zamboanga. This is our assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. What a dish off by Itzi Altamirano.
I was going to say the same. That look away, he was looking at Kawilan and that, holding that corner 3, but we're going this way.
Nakakatawa rin yung dalawang player na na-injure for Zamboanga the past couple of games. Pagbalik ngayon, parehong nakakulay na ulit yung buhok.
Oo nga. Hindi nga isa lang stylist.
Pero magkaiba yung kulay eh. Parang kay Roy Sumang, ano ba tawag dyan? Highlights ba? Hindi ko kasi alam eh.
Oh my God. Don't ask me, Ham. Basta ako nagpapakulay lang ako. Maybe you can ask Sydney.
Hilario, quick spin to the baseline and one opportunity para kay Brian Hilario.
Hindi ko na patatagalin yung sagot na sa tanong mo. Nag-thumbs up si Sydney, sabi niya highlights nga raw yun.
Never pa kasi ako nagpapakulay ng buhok. I would never know.
Okay, fine.
But Brian Hilario, he knows that when he scores for Pasay, the impact of the crowd is crazy. That was our play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
I'll tell you what, ito si Brian Hilario, isa yan sa mga, kumbaga, classic na big men na kayang pumoste, maganda yung footwork. And he really has just been a guy that offers that to the Voyagers. And being a homegrown, he takes pride playing for Pasay then.
A classic but undersized, and that's what's been more impressive about him as Kawilan puts in his first basket of the game. It's 17 against Bataan. Hilario, face-up jumper, left that one short. Sumang skies for that rebound. Looks like that angle definitely fully healed. Roy gives it up to Kawilan. Sawat wants a screen from CBC. Sawat, nahihirapan laban sa depensa ni Jordan Rios. Back shot is short. Altamirano na agawan dun. Salenga, transition 3 on the way. Good line but short.
And that was a good find by Jordan Rios too. Jasper really just couldn't knock it down.
Roy Sumang will set up the offense here for Zamboanga. Almost 3 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Carl Bryant Cruz. That one off to the right. Tabi
Gotta
CBC
switch.
on him. Salenga
Gotta
will
take
not
that again.
force it. Tabi will. Off the mark on that three. 25 to 22. Sawat will go all the way. Stripped there by Salenga, and that's off his leg.
Sawat, pag naglalaro, parang hindi nawala no? He still has that aggressiveness to attack the lane and straight to the cup.
He was arguing that he got fouled there. Salenga and Sampo. Ooh, that was a hard slap.
Yeah.
Can Pasay tie with a three? Warren Bonifacio, though, has other things in mind. And he draws the foul there against Carl Bryant Cruz. No signs of being starstruck against the former Gilas stalwart. Ito si Warren Bonifacio.
Oh, yes. Doesn't know that. Talagang competitor, ika nga. And that's what Pasay's been doing so far. And when they bring Warren Bonifacio to that ball side block, it really is a pin down that would allow that wing to rise up to the top, which earlier happens to be Jasper.
Salenga, pinapahirapan dito ni Reg Gabat. The Jopet Soriano pulls down the offensive rebound. Foul there on the putback attempt by JP Kawilan.
This is a scratch and claw game so far, no? Kanya-kanyang effort sa pagkuha ng bola at pagdepensa.
This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Soriano missing on the first free throw. And Pasay struggles at the charity stripe this season have cost them some games, Coach.
Yes. And you can't afford to do that because, again, you don't have your primary scorer. You understand that the free throws are going to be very vital in games. And right now they're averaging roughly about 13 makes out of 19 trips, which is pretty okay at 67%. But you kind of expect better shooting from the Voyagers, lalo na if they want to be contenders this season.
Ayun na nga, Coach. Dahil nga sabi mo, wala si Lawrence Victoria. They have to make the most out of every opportunity to put points on the board. Turnover for Zamboanga here.
Gotta take it.
Tabi for the lead.
There
Yes, sir. Pasay now in the driver's seat. 26 to 25. Their first taste of the advantage here against Zamboanga.
And every time that these shooters become aggressive and immediately makes a quick decision, the defense goes under, the rotate comes in late, Cyrus lets it go, makes that three, and every time they do that, good things come up para dito sa Voyagers.
First three-pointer in the game for Pasay. 6 total for the Voyagers. 6 minutes and 9 remaining here in the first half. Reg Gabat and Cyrus Tabi are key players for tonight. Gabat has been spectacular in these past 5 games for Zamboanga, while Cyrus Tabi has been called upon to contribute more for the Voyagers in the absence of Lawrence Victoria, who has been sidelined with an injury.
Yeah, totoo yan. And halos magkaiba rin kasi ng posisyon. Well, parehong guardia, yung isa wing, yung isa primarily a point guard. But if Cyrus Tabi wants to do wing duties, kaya rin niya eh. He can score, he can drive, and he's got a really good vision.
Tabi passes up on the 3, hook shot, wala. Ball ends up with Bonifacio, who will take another one. This time it's short. Loose ball falls into the hands of Reg Gabat.
Dito papasok yung importance ng isang Jordan Rios para sa Voyagers. When every time you have Warren Bonifacio taking the shot from the outside, you'd like for somebody to rebound that. And one of the guys that is always going to camp underneath for those boards is Jordan Rios.
And that time, Jopit Soriano picking up the loose ball off the turnover from Zamboanga and putting it in to extend this Voyagers lead to 3 points. Gabat decks his defender, that was Salenga, and able to get 2 points.
I was actually hoping that Gabat used that screen going up so that you'd see a slip by a CBC and, you know, he gets his crack at the 3.
Rios almost traveled, gives it up to Bonifacio. Shot clock under 10 seconds.
2 on the ball. Good release.
Rios has 3 to work with. Jordan couldn't hit the jumper.
Cyrus had the right thing in mind. He got a couple of guys defending against him. You got to release that ball because on the other side, it's the numbers game to your advantage.
They go to Carl Brian Cruz, who has not yet scored in this game, but well defended there by Pasay.
Well, obviously, he's still trying to feel his way with his new teammates, this system. And eventually, CBC is going to be really good here for Zamboanga.
Salenga, high looper of an outside shot. That was a tip, I think, from Roy Sumang, but Tabi will be credited with a basket.
And he tried to tip it because he didn't want Tabi to be able to claim it. But unfortunately, that tip went inside. 2 points for the Voyagers.
Kung minamalas ka nga naman, you just hate it when that happens. And
Oh, yeah.
actually, very rare lang naman.
Buti nga hindi mga end game type eh, no? Yun ang mabigat.
Ayun talaga masakit. The Voyagers continue to hang on to this 3-point lead. Past the halfway point of quarter number 2. Gabat, defended here by Damien Lasco, lets it fly. In and out para kay Reg Gabat.
But pretty much itong Zamboanga, based on my observation, they're running portions of dribble drive. And so what Pasay is actually doing is they're compacting their defense and not allowing that lane to open up for the primary defender to be beat while staying home on that corner guy on that ball side 3.
Meanwhile, here as Don Reverente was trying to open up a lane para kay Cyrus Tabi, he commits the offensive foul. Clear ward off there as he set that pick.
Yeah, that's called a Vera Jao. When you misdirect that screen, twist it to the other side, that's a Vera Jao.
Multiple screens set up for multiple guys para sa Zamboanga. Ends up in a Abdul Sawat jumper. Here comes Pasay. Damien Lasco with the offhand.
There you go. Damien Lasco. It's the games that I've seen him play before, you know he's a scorer. He just really is, you know, trying to fit in his role here. But Chino, man, that guy's got a lot of compete in him.
When he wants to make a shot for Zamboanga, he definitely can. Ito si Chino Mosqueda.
Gonna weave it at the top.
Tabi. Salim momentarily switches on to him. Mosqueda is back on Cyrus. Tabi trying to get past mid. And Cyrus Tabi gets the bounce on the lay-in.
That's just all will. He didn't have enough space. Tried to provide one and finish it off with that good English.
7 points in the game. Tabi is actually playing against his former squad as well as Damien Lasco.
Right.
James Una in the baseline. The pass picked off by AJ Coronel.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere if you're a big man stopping that side.
Oh,
of the ball.
Coronel, he was full steam ahead but out of control. Turnover laban sa Pasay.
That's the right term. Out of control. Tried to go to one side, but that blitz came in.
This is our Gixxer great move of the game. Born for greatness.
And that, kids, tells you that really basketball is a game about chasing space.
And another takeaway here for Pasay. To the delight of the crowd here. They are pumped up. Tabi enjoying this lead right now. Their home squad. Bonifacio failing to extend it.
Series of empty possessions so far para dito sa Zamboanga.
Sawa trying to change it. Door closed there by AJ Coronel. 13 on the shot clock for the Sikat. Sawat still has it. Bonifacio now on him. What a handoff to Reg Gabat. Just short on the finger roll. Difficult inside scoop attempt.
There's no driving lanes. They're not giving them any pathway to try and drive and attack downhill. And so they really are forcing Zamboanga to take the shots from the outside. And they want that because if it's a shot from the outside, it's probably a long rebound and an opportunity for them to go and fast break the other way.
And that's an interesting gamble made by Coach Marlon Martin considering how well Zamboanga has been shooting from the outside this season. I think they're really forcing Zamboanga to just go for the lower percentage shot rather than try to beat them inside. And Lasco has gotten another point inside the paint there for the Voyagers. This time, it's in the half court against multiple defenders, but still manages to put it in, and he extends this Pasay lead to 6.
And this compacting defense has really forced, fast breaks para dito sa Voyagers. That time around, that was a half-court set, a good read by Damian Lasco. You know that guy's a scorer, and you got to be mindful where he is on the floor.
You rarely see Zamboanga make miscues defensively. 36-30, a minute and 37 remaining in the first half. Coach Marlon Martin and the Pasay Voyagers lost here at the Pasay Astrodome to the Gensan Warriors. This was a very tough game para sa kanila. It was a battle of attrition for the most part, but Gensan eventually made more shots than Pasay in this game and also beating the Voyagers on the glass.
Yeah, I agree. And both, the shooting was not really good for Pasay. They only shot 30% from the field. Matter of fact, not just 29% from 3, going 7 of 24. They were minus 10 on rebounds, minus 5 in offensive rebounds. And so that second chance point really was minus 15. And that really where the effort was in that game.
But right now, Pasay is outscoring Zamboanga 20-9 in the second quarter. Gabat, no good on the 3. Una, the offensive rebound. Zamboanga is shooting only 3 out of 12 from the outside in this game. A team that is leading the league in 3-point shooting percentage as well as it makes in attempts. Haven't been doing so well from beyond the arc in this game.
Very true. And that is the only shot that they're making available for Zamboanga, that 3. Look at how that ball defender has switched on.
Gabat got the step on Reverente. Couldn't get the bounce. Una keeps it alive and puts it in. James Una providing that hustle para sa Zamboanga. He gets his first basket of the game. Coach Marlon Martin forced to sue for time here. This was the miss by Gabat. And then look at Una beating everyone to the basketball.
Yeah, and that's just about the only way they're going to score off offensive rebounds and quick putbacks.
36-32, a minute and 10 remaining in the first half. Last game against Bataan, Zamboanga was actually also down in the second quarter. But these 3 guys, they picked it up in the second half.
Yeah, pretty much. And you like those guys to be helping out. JP, Kalisay, even Una. Those 3 guys have really done well. It's a 5 of 13 3-point shooting para kay Kawilan. Kalisay went, 5 out of 8 from 3. And all the makes of James Una, the 4 of 6 really have been all coming from the perimeter. So different ways these guys have scored in that game.
Aside from the numbers you saw galing kay James Una, he also had 2 shot blocks following up that 5-block performance against Nueva Ecija in Palayan City. And after the timeout, turnover for Pasay as Lasco throws it away.
Medyo miscommunication yun ang nangyari doon. Daniel Lasco was trying to drive baseline side, but Dan Sara was thinking corner fill. But that corner's already filled. And kaya ang tapo ni Damien papunta pataas, which mataas para sa kanya.
Pinapasalamatan natin ng LGR, the official outwear of the MPBL, and Medsalim draws a foul laban kay Don Reverente, which Reverente readily acknowledges.
Which is what you kind of observe now for Pasay. Every time that ball gets inside the paint, then they start compacting, then they start converging to the ball. Kaya, for the most part, it's been fouls here and there, and that's why Pasay right now is in a penalty. But in so far as closing the gaps and allowing only 3 points attempts para dito sa Zamboanga, that they've done real good.
Salim missing on the first free throw. Only had 3 points against Bataan. One of the stretch bigs that Zamboanga is very proud to have. But definitely not proud of that 0 out of 2 outing from the free throw line. Under 50 seconds to play in the first half. Sara is back in the game for Pasay. They set up Salenga. Bonifacio with a screen. That's a foul against James Una. Last foul to give there for Zamboanga.
Sure looked like little 1-2-2 defense there by Zamboanga. Trying to take away the 3-point attempt of Pasay. Kung Zamboanga is preventing them from taking threes, ito naman Voyagers, sige, tira kayo ng 3.
Sanko, Tabi, Bonifacio, Salenga, Sara, the 5 on the floor for Coach Marlon Martin. Lots of time left on the shot clock. Tabi trying to dance against James Una. Crossover, got into the lane but was blocked by 2 defenders. Sara picks it up and puts it in.
Shot by Sara.
Credo with 6 seconds left. Pulls it out. Mosqueda, 3 seconds left. Chino, tough look. Misses everything. And the Pasay Voyagers with a rousing second quarter performance here against the leaders of the South, the Zamboanga Sikat.
And again, those gaps pretty much closed this time para naman sa Voyagers, but Dan Sara picking it up, rising, and the elevation of that shot.
Prior to that was scoreless from the field, missed a couple of threes. The hustle of the veteran being put in play there as Pasay takes a 6-point lead heading into the halftime break.
Is annihilating Oscar De La Hoya's. That is the most spectacular one-punch set of Manny Pacquiao's incredible career. And he fights his way over and goes down again. Straight left lands for Manny. Does he have Cotto in trouble? Manny Pacquiao is a storm. Huge left hand by Pacquiao. Punch after punch after punch. And he finds the straight left hand. And there's the punching down. Look at the brilliant accuracy of Manny Pacquiao. Landing with both right and left hands. This is why we use the word sensation.
Welcome back to the MPBL. Kayo po ay nanonood ng aming game number 3 between Zamboanga Sikat and the Pasay Voyagers. My name is Sydney Crespo at kasama ko ngayon si Congresswoman Kat Chuan ng Zamboanga and of course their team owner para sa ating halftime interviews. Miss Kat, it's very nice to see you again here in the games. No? Magandang gabi po. Ang daming napapahanga ng Zamboanga this season and they earned 14 wins so far. Gaano po kayo ka-proud sa mga na-achieve nila this season?
Buenas noches. Of course, sobrang saya namin kasi nakikita namin na maganda talaga ang laro ng Zamboanga Sikat Family Sardines. Hopefully magtuloy-tuloy para umabot po kami sa championship.
Yes, tama ka dyan, Miss Kat. Ngayon, I'm sure may mga fans kayo na nanonood ngayon at iniisip nila kung magkakaroon ba tayo ng home game very soon. Are we going back to Zamboanga?
Meron po tayong home game na itong July 26, yung Zamboanga Sikat po, so, kalaban po ang Abra. So, masaya po ako na babalik ulit ang team sa Zamboanga. At syempre, gusto ko rin pong imbitahan ang mga Zamboangueños po. So, mga vivientes sa Zamboanga, taimbitayo con ustedes para manhunto-hunto kita dahil el suporta con el Sikat Zamboanga Family Sardines na July 26 na Zamboanga City Coliseum, Sabado se, expecta ustedes, kay anda kami na diferente mga barangay, dale el mga tickets para manhunto kita, dale suporta, iman enjoy el game na di aton syudad de Zamboanga.
Ayan, naabangan natin yan sa July, Miss Kat. Ngayon po, may mga pasasalamatan pa po kayo?
Of course, papasalamatan ko rin po ang mga taga Zamboanga City kasi alam ko po sa aming syudad na Zamboanga, marami po talagang mga basketball fanatics. Kaya nagpapasalamat po ako, tarindigan iyo miles de gracias na suporta tadale sila kunel team and syempre kunel MPBL. Kaya yun po, magsama-sama po tayo at magbigay ng suporta sa Zamboanga City sa July 27 po. At 26, Sabado po yan.
Ayan, thank you so much, Congresswoman Kachua, for your time. Mga kaliga, abangan natin yan. Magbabalik po ang MPBL.
I came from nothing. Just a small boy from streets of General Santos City. No shoes, no food, no chance, just a dream in my heart. From flyweight to junior middleweight, 8 divisions. Thank you. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Mabuhay ang bawat Pilipinong nangangarap at lumalaban. This is our victory. This is our story. And the best is yet to come.
MPBL, that just speaks a lot to how he's been performing here. Hindi niya sasayangin to.
Santos with a throwdown. Dennis Santos with a highlight two-handed jam here in the third. Throwdown galing kay Dennis Santos. He had a handful of highlight dunks last season.
Yeah. You mentioned Sidel earlier. You brought up.
12 points in the game, and all the way from near half court, Kit Jimenez, 4 of 4 from beyond the arc, trying to steal the thunder from King Destacamento in the quarter. Find Kit, please. Ayun nga eh.
Second remaining from half court! We were talking about him, Coach Mike. My goodness,
Oh, wow.
Jethro Escoto.
Boy, what a shot made by Escoto.
Hindi ko man kasing tangkad si Richard at si Russell, pero meron ako nito.
Oo, ang bigat ng pagkakabitaw niya na yun. Almost, fading going left and still enough to kiss it on the glass.
The rebound. Both teams still with a timeout remaining. Manalang with the rock. Defended by Santos. Jerome bites on the fake. Manalang for 3. Gets the basket to go. It bounces off the rim.
Yun ang mabigat doon. Hindi lang nakashoot itong passing. 3 points pa ang kanilang ibinigay. Which means, on our side, the chances of overtime lumingit.
It looks bleak right now.
Right?
But
His energy could be infectious for the
Oh,
last
wow,
2 minutes. What a pass! Oh! De Leon, the recipient of that unworldly assist from Keanu Caballero.
What a pass by Keanu Caballero. Guy, he found De Leon. Si Keanu talaga, ibang klase mga pasa. Risky, pero pag lumusot, ang ganda.
Wilson gets it to Robbie Celis, but what a catch and what a finish! And a foul! What a play from the heart and soul of this Nueva Ecija team, Robbie Celis. The smarts and the skill right here. Dalawang veterano na combined doon, Avi.
Exactly. You gotta credit the pass to John Wilson. The presence of mind to get it to Robbie Celis, who got good position right there.
Against his Salim. Rocky, 8 seconds. Now Chito, 5 seconds. Jaime lost the ball. Tamayo to Manalang. The runner from Robbie! Robbie Manalang with another clutch basket. This time against Valenzuela, it's a 7-point lead for Pasay City with 48 seconds remaining.
From Adamson to the MPBL, Robbie Manalang has broken a lot of hearts with clutch baskets just like that.
Bulutko. Sumang with 5 seconds to work with. The dance, the pass, Sena, the three. Ho, ho, ho. Wow! May konting sayaw, and then the 3 ball just in time to beat the shot clock. 13-point lead, the biggest in the ball game.
What a move here by Roy Sumang. And then Sena was asking for it because he felt that mismatch. He had Ochea on him. He felt that he could have taken him on the post. But Sumang set him up for that 3-point shot.
Andrews comes away with the loose ball. Here comes Ashton Andrews. Andrews lays it in.
Welcome to the Ashton Andrews highlight reel.
Ashton Andrews providing the hustle, the energy, and the bucket here late in the third period. He will not be denied in this play, Javi.
Getting past Kaduyak there, and then the sidestep on the gather by Ashton Andrews. 2 highlight plays. What a quarter para kay Ashton Andrews. Formento has Kanyal on him. Crossover, pull up. Formento knocks it down! Ano sabi mo kanina? Ang lamig. Di ba? Ang lamig. Umuulan. Ang lamig. Ano ang dapat mong gawin? Tanungin natin si Formento. Hindi. Tignan na lang natin. Between the legs, a little up fake cross, that quick pull-up. No, yung quick pull-up after the cross was enough para, mapaslide, no? Backpedal itong si depensa ni Kanyal, and nothing but bottom. What a big-time shot. This guy, he has embraced the big moments para sa Valenzuela this season.
At the half between the Pasay Voyagers and the Zamboanga Sikat Families brand sardines, Pasay has roared back here after Zamboanga's hot start where they held the Voyagers scoreless for the first 5 minutes, but the second quarter definitely belonged to the Pasay Voyagers.
Yeah, and the percentages for Zamboanga really has gone down because of that 3-point shooting. It's just 23% right there. Almost half of those shots coming from that area. And yung turnovers, almost the same. No, nobody's actually taken advantage of it. Nagka-cancel out lang yung bawat isa. Pero yung bench points, clearly, Pasay has gotten more off the bench than that of Zamboanga.
Brian Hilario and ito si Cyrus Tabi as well as Jasper Salenga and Damien Lasco sparking that rally in the second quarter for the Pasay Voyagers, helping them to the 6-point advantage. Zamboanga's field goal shooting was as high as 53%, I think even higher at one point of this game, but ang baba nung dinip talaga.
Sobrang naapektuhan ng depensa.
Reg Gabat leading the way for the Sikat with 9 points, while Cyrus Tabi has 7 and Hilario Bonifacio Salenga each with 6. Third quarter now underway here at the Pasay Astrodome. Tabi, Bonifacio, Coronel, Sanco, and Salenga starting the second half for Coach Marlon Martin. Zamboanga has Sawat, Una, Kawilan, Mosqueda, and Reg Gabat. Coronel picks up the handoff. Leaves it for Salenga. Jasper lines up the 3. No good. Mosqueda will set this one up para sa Zamboanga.
Well, it's going to be quite interesting on how they will try and counter that compacted sag-off defense by the Voyagers. So far, it's still working right now. They are having difficulty getting through gaps. And they made that basket right there, but they had to go through a lot of physicality just to get to that shot.
Let's go, but the first guy in double figures in this game, leading all scorers now with 11. Bonifacio deciding what to do. They go backdoor to Salenga. What a pass there coming from the big man.
Well, chin screen that ended up with a backdoor. Defense kept chasing. He was late, and that basket right there, ganda na pagkaka-execute ng Voyagers doon.
A defense really tight here for Pasay. They're trying to deny every passing lane para dito sa Zamboanga. Check out this assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory, be a more game with 1xBet.
Flare screen, chin screen, no matter how you call it, it's a good feed right there from the top on that backdoor cut.
They go inside to Una, blocked from behind by Coronel. The follow no good. Sawat also couldn't get the 2 points.
Zamboanga right now is getting out-hustled by Pasay. That's clear as day.
Tabi was left wide open. Defense was able to challenge the near shot. Sanko was the one who took it, but also missed. And there is a whistle. Coach Egay Macaraya is fuming mad at the sidelines. I think he was trying to argue a missed call on the previous play. He's still trying to talk to our referees. Our officials for this ball game, Michael Pina is the crew chief, joined by Maynard Centeno, Jason Abacos, and Manuel Binondo is the fourth guy. It's a technical foul against Coach Egay Macaraya. So Pasay will be awarded one free throw here.
Well, the good thing is you're only down 6, and you're still pretty much in this. Just a couple of really good stops and conversion on your end.
Well, he's cooled down right now. Ito si Coach Egay. Tabi with a chance to extend this lead. This 8 points right now, 7 points rather. Technical free throw made by Tabi. 8 puntos na sa laro, including 8 rebounds and 4 assists.
Again, another overall game.
We'd like to greet Monster, my sister, and his wife, Kate Ivy, who are watching from Antipolo.
Oh yes, our batchmate from
Yes.
UBs,
Magandang
now called
gabi.
Masterclass, no?
Yes, sir.
Batch Pansit Hipon.
Short on the three-pointer was JP Kawila, and James Una once again crashing the glass para sa Zamboanga. Una now with 7 rebounds in this game.
And so far, Una's been very active in chasing, board control for them. He's got 7 rebounds already to go with his only 2 points, 1 out of 5. The struggle's been on the field.
Check out our special deal from 1xBet when you scan the QR code and claim your special offer. A miss at the line galing kay James Una. Let's check in courtside with Miss Sydney Grasco.
Simple yung sinabi ni Coach Marlon for this game, no? Sabi niya, i-challenge natin yung culture ng Zamboanga. He's talking about their winning mindset, yung magandang sistema nila Coach Egay. Kasama na rin daw dyan yung ability ng Zamboanga to make a comeback in the second half. Earlier, hindi yun yung simula na gusto ni Coach Marlon, pero unti-unti na nga daw nilang nakuha yung flow ng game. Yun ang Pasay na kilala niya, yung nagpakita ng second quarter. Unfortunately, I talked to their team, PT and Felipe Chavez, at sobrang sakit daw talaga ng kanyang right hamstring. Dinescribe niya na kumikirot ito at wala siyang hamstrings concerns before tonight. They already taped it, nag-deload na daw, pero parang hindi na talaga kaya ni Felipe. Happy Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Sid. Well, we wish Jared Chavez the best of luck as he tries to recover from that hamstring injury. But also, as Sid mentioned in her report, I like what Coach Marlon said about challenging the culture of Zamboanga.
Agree. And sometimes, you got to make that compete side very evident. And pakita kung how you react in adversity, in competition. And sometimes you gotta kailangan mong pantayan yung effort din ng kalaban.
By the way, we'd also like to give a shout out to Mindoro Tamaraos, Axel Inigo, Ray Bienes, and Ino Comboy, as well as Mayor Jennifer Inalegre Cruz, who are watching from Mindoro right now. Actually, kanina taking ni Mayor sa Pola. So, congrats again, Mayora, on another term. As we see Abdul Sawat get inside and score for the Sikat. This is our play of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Well, before I get to that move by Sawat, I want to thank Mayora for her, hosting us when we were there in Pola, Mindoro. That was my first time there in Pola, and I did enjoy going there. You really feel the warmth of the people there in terms of basketball. And one thing that I observed, the people there in Pola are very respectful.
Talaga?
Doon. They love their basketball.
Oh yeah, for sure, no doubt.
Talagang it's a good community right there in Mindoro.
Kaya ibang klase yung passion at di rin siya nakakagulat. And it starts with their team owner who really sets the tone for the culture that they're trying to establish with the Mindoro Tamaraos. Tabi launches from the outside and rattles home a three. Pasay with an 8-point lead, 44-36.
Wow, Cyrus Tabi. He's been knocking down those shots. He's 2 out of 4 right now, shooting 50% from there. Pero grabe yung kumpiyansa.
Sawat will try to get it back, and he knocks down a three of his own.
Now you like that version of Sawat right now. First, he got to that gap earlier where he drove middle, really quick decision making. That time around, he took it.
11 puntos na rin sa laro para kay Abdul Sawat. 4 out of 15 for Zamboanga from the outside, while Pasay is shooting 7 out of 24.
So long as Zamboanga keeps hanging on, down by just a couple of possessions, they're still in good space.
This is the three-point shot of the game, brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. Tabi also with 11 points now in this game. And you're right, Coach, as long as Zamboanga is within a manageable distance, Pasay has to be very wary of the comeback attempts of this squad.
Oh, wow. What a move.
Jordan Rios getting that nice inbound play.
And one of the reasons why Jordan Rios was able to finish that very difficult spin underneath a basket is he's got good leg power and ganda ng foundation ito ni Jordan Rios. And which is why it allows him to get to a second lead even on rebounds. And it's not easy to dislodge him if he's gonna defend against you down on the low block.
Oh, solid yung base eh. No?
Oo.
Pero solid rin ang naging season ni James Una para dito sa Zamboanga.
Oh.
Imagine being the main big man with James Sena in the lineup. That just speaks volumes of how much trust and how much hard work he has put in this season.
What actually has impressed me, as you see a 3 attempt here by Jordan Rios, what has impressed me with Una is that he's leading itong Zamboanga in steals and blocks.
Ooh.
1.3 and 1.4 per game.
Here he is again, working against Bonifacio. He will not force it. Sawat, slot cut. It gets fouled there. 2 shots coming up para kay Abdul Sawat.
And there you see what we were discussing earlier. Once that ball gets inside the paint, it's almost an emergency situation for the Voyagers. They try and do everything that they can to get right in front and make it difficult for that point-blank shot attempt.
Defensively, if you're Pasay, you're doing a good job of really preventing those off-ball movements nitong Zamboanga. They have been always on their feet, itong Pasay Voyagers. It's been hard for Zamboanga bridging the second quarter, and now we'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Sawat missing on the first free throw.
Sawat so far in terms of free throws,
66%.
Yeah.
Split at the line on that trip, 42-46 from Katsua. Sir Joe Bentay here in attendance. Not a very happy look on their faces as their team continues to trail. But it's just a 4-point advantage for Pasay. Still a lot of time here in the third quarter. Bonifacio wanted it against Kawilan, and JP will be called for the personal.
And again, you see that very similar action that kind of like mimics a wide pin down where you're leaving Warren Bonifacio down on the low block as they try and swing the ball up top. And once that ball gets to the top, then Warren Bonifacio starts sealing and they look for that high low. If they don't have that, they'll go dribble handoff the other way, which is practically a zoom action.
Rios, fall away jumper, back-to-back hits for Jordan Rios.
Quality minutes is what he's giving you. Silently operating and just helping out the Voyagers.
4 points off the bench para kay Jordan Rios. Sumang gets the step on Tabi. A little bothered there by the presence of Warren Bonifacio, but James Una once again there to save the day.
He just continues to chase for those boards. Sobrang sipag eh.
Hilario had a strong second quarter, almost got the basket there, but he will get 2 free throws, getting the foul against Carl Brian Cruz.
Kita mo yung difference ng defensive coverage ng Voyagers versus Zamboanga. The Voyagers really want to compact the paint kasi ayaw nilang drive eh. Pero itong Zamboanga, napipilitan silang to stay attached in the perimeter versus the Voyagers kasi maganda yung shooting sa 3 eh.
Hilario able to put in the first free throw, 49-44. 7 points in the game. Perfect from the free throw line. 3 out of 3 now. 8 puntos na para kay Brian Hilario, the pride of Malibay here in Pasay City.
One of the better free throw shooters from the Voyagers, roughly at 85% from the line.
Another 4 minutes to play. Altamirano, the bounce pass to Una. Has a smaller Rios on him. Sumang
There
gives
you
it
go.
up. CBC for 3. That one's short. He has yet to get going in this game. Ito si Carl Brian Cruz.
And that pass, to my observation, was a little bit late. He already got that defender committed, and Carl Brian Cruz was there up top for about 1.5 seconds. Could have given that pass already so that the defense would have come in late. But since the pass was na-delay, nag-adjust pa ng konti si CBC din sa tira niya.
CBC is now 0 out of 3 from the field in his debut for the Zamboanga Sikat. Averaged 14 points in his only 3 games for the Parañaque Patriots this season. Cruz in trouble underneath, kicks it out. Sumang hand in the
shot.
face, no problem for Super Sumang.
Good shot. That's how quick that other pass should have been, in my opinion. The moment that Carl Brian Cruz didn't see anything coming out of where he was, just kicked it out, and the guy who received it immediately releases.
3-point game. Salenga hounded there by Altamirano. Ball is loose, picked up by Kalisay. Sumang against Brian Hilario. Sumang likes this matchup. Roy, sizing up the defense of Brian. Hilario would challenge. Sumang will miss. Salenga able to keep it in play.
It's good effort by Salenga.
Tabi calling out the play. Uses the Bonifacio screen. Hilario had time to set. Brian Hilario from downtown.
Make no mistake, Brian Hilario is good for 35% three-point shooting. You cannot leave him that wide open from top of the key.
And di pa kayo nagpamalik mata dyan, mga kaibigan. Pasay is doing way better from the outside compared to league-leading Zamboanga in the three-point department.
Yeah, and I like that you pointed that out, Javi, because they are not really that top of a three-point shooting team. They're number 11, pretty decent, roughly about 8 3-point makes per game. Pero now, ibang klase yung performance nila dito against one of the top three-point shooting teams in Zamboanga.
11 points off the bench para kay Brian Hilario. Altamirano puts it up, wild shot. Tabi will get fouled here by Sumang.
And definitely the Voyagers in that possession had the numbers. Altamirano was coming in late. Roy Sumang tried to foul, and so that to delay the offensive attack and allow his teammates to come back and help him out defensively.
Coach Bong Ramos arguing that there should have been a foul on that drive by Altamirano. But instead, it is Cyrus Tabi who will take the free throws here. As Sumang gave up the foul to stop the fast break. Zamboanga is 4 out of 12 from the free throw line sa laro na to, while Pasay is now 6 out of 8 after that make by Cyrus Tabi.
And those 8 missed free throw spelled the difference here.
12 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. A good all-around performance for Cyrus Tabi against his former squad. Under 2 minutes to play sa ating pangatlong yugto. Sara will come back in and give Tabi a spell on the bench.
Little full court diamond here.
They swing it to Kalisay. Launching from 3, wala. Sara will slow things down here for Pasay. Lasco hands it off. Rios. Quick pass to Hilario. Shuffled his feet there. That's a travel.
Yeah, good call. But again, gusto mo yung movement ng bola para dito sa Pasay Voyagers. They were quick to a decision on what to do with the ball. They moved it side to side. From one side, it moved to the next. But really just caught up with that violation.
One thing I think that they really lacked their past few games, especially sa kanilang mga talo, yung ball movement.
Agree. Parang nagsisettle sa ISO ball.
Sawat into the lane, puts it up.
Yeah. There's no driving that right side of the floor straight line. They are not allowing straight line drives. So they're making it difficult for Zamboanga to get in the lane.
13 points in his return for Zamboanga. Ito si Abdul Sawat. Damon Lasco missing everything on that shot.
One other thing that another thing that the Voyagers have actually taken away from Zamboanga is control of the elbows. We have not seen a lot of actions with the ball on the elbow.
Well, let's see what they do here. Altamirano in control. Itchy gets the step on Lasco and gets hit on the head. And that's a really sensitive spot to be hit on right now. Ito si Itchy Altamirano after the whiplash that happened in their last game.
Yes.
Although he was able to return, but Sid already mentioned that he has not been able to control that after that game dahil nahihilo pa rin daw siya madalas at napapagod na mabilis.
Yeah, may mga moments nga na gano'n, just like what Sid reported earlier. So you're right, that's pretty sensitive part for Itchy.
But we do hope that nothing bad happens to him here. Mukhang okay naman siya. Marlon will try to map out the play. I think they're reviewing it to see if there was an unsportsmanlike foul, but I think it's only going to be a regular foul.
Right. That's a hit to the side of the head in an effort to try and block the shot. So no ill intentions right there. Everything was a play on the ball.
So Altamirano will be taking 2 free throws still. 46 seconds left. Zamboanga anim ang hinahabol dito.
50% free throw shooter.
Quite surprising for a guard. Usually when you're a guard, you assume that you're a good free throw shooter, but Itchy is actually one of a number of guards here in the MPBL shooting at the dismal rate from the free throw line.
Yes, agree. And there was a good stretch, a couple of back-to-back games where Itchy actually performed really well. That was against Batangas, where he had 17 points. And then against Nueva Ecija, where he went 18 points and 3 out of 6 from 3 points. So the guy can score.
Oh, definitely. No doubt about that. Sara missing from the outside. Rios saves it, but then Sara could not keep it in bounds. It's going to be Zamboanga basketball.
Good effort by Zamboanga to try and converge. And right now you're down only 4. And this press continues from the backcourt. Really just more to delay use of the shot clock para dito sa Zamboanga. They keep open that left side of the floor.
Sena passes up on the 3, step back, jumper, no good. Rebound controlled by Jopit Soriano. May oras pa dito ang Pasay. 7 seconds left. Sara with a basketball. Rios launches, could not hit. Fans here inside the Pasay Astrodome were up on their feet, hoping for another highlight play from the Pasay Voyagers, but they have controlled this match from the second quarter until now. Jasper Salenga, you have Warren Bonifacio, Damon Lasco, Brian Hilario, Jordan Rios, all those guys contributing to this success in this game for Pasay. These are the highlights of the game brought to you by C+, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
And this ploy of the Voyagers continues, sagging off defensively and making it difficult for Zamboanga to attack the gaps.
Apat ng hinahabol dito ng Zamboanga Sikat. We'll be right back for our fourth quarter. Check out our Gixxer fans of the game, born for greatness. Fans here inside the Pasay Astrodome enjoying this matchup between their home squad, the Voyagers, and the South Division leading Zamboanga Sika. It's Gabat and Cyrus Tabi both doing well in this game. Gabat was the main purveyor of that early run that Zamboanga had, holding Pasay scoreless. Pero ito si Cyrus Tabi, siya naman ang dahilan, isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit sila nakahabol at nakuha ang kalamangan.
And both these guys actually living up to the hype. Cyrus Tabi close to a double-double. Matter of fact, could even go for a triple-double. He's got 6 assists right now and is one shy of a double-double for rebounds.
Simula na ng ating huling yugto between Zamboanga and Pasay. Quarter scoring. Look at what happened there. That first half was really a tale of two quarters.
Agree. And again, those missed free throws. Nice fake by James.
Patient veteran move coming from the big man, James Sena.
And I was gonna say, you know, yung patuloy na effort nitong Zamboanga to keep close. Now, this is just a one-possession game here. They're challenging this because they felt that Jordan never touched him.
Coach Marlon Martin will utilize his challenge at this point. Early here in the fourth quarter, we'll take a short break.
The Pasay Voyagers challenge was successful. Basket is good.
It's a
by
successful
James
challenge
Sena,
for
but there
Coach
was
Marlon
no
Martin.
foul.
So no foul will be called, but the basket will still count para kay James Sena.
Yeah, clearly nothing in there.
Yeah, just got all ball actually.
Yes.
It's just really fun to be covering games here inside the Pasay Astro. Dahil hindi man nahagip ng camera, no? Pero the crowd behind us always very animated.
Oo naman. Laging animated yan, and you hear their cheers and their disapproval on certain things. Just very passionate for the game.
And they just simply add to the excitement of our matches here sa Liga ng Bawat Pilipino, and Bonifacio adding to the excitement of the crowd with that bank shot.
Magaling ka na, swerte ka pa. Ang hirap niya.
Mahirap talaga talunin yun. Altamirano misfires from the outside. That's last touch on Dan Sara.
That shot had a good line too for Zamboanga.
Tingnan natin ang ating play of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Basta talaga mataas yung arc ng tira mo, may chances ka sa ganun eh, yung mataas na off the glass. You gotta take it. There you go.
Sumang lines up a 3. That one's long, rebounded by Cyrus Tabi. Abdul Sawat on the point guard. Oh, darts a pass inside. Soriano could not finish.
Wow.
Sawat bumped there by Tabi, and I think the people here inside the Pasay Astrodome wanted the foul.
That was a thing of beauty.
I think they wanted a foul on that shot by Jopet Soriano.
See that again. That slip.
Ooh,
Wow.
tough pass.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely went through the needle. And you see there, Altamirano getting a hand on the wrist area.
That's right.
Nito ni Jopet Soriano.
That was a clear tap on right around the elbow area.
Sawat could not get the first free throw to drop. Zamboanga down by 4 points. More than a minute only gone by dito sa ating huling yugto. Reg Gabat set to come in here for the Sikat.
We've had one overtime earlier.
Yeah, don't remind me.
And I'm seated next to you, and you seem to always be that guy.
Yeah. 4 seasons in a row now.
That's right.
I have that distinguished award
Mhm.
of having the most overtimes over the past 4 seasons.
You're the OT king.
Yeah, even if I don't know the exact number, I'm pretty sure it's really me. Because I'm the only guy right now in the panel who's been able to experience, hindi pala. Naka-triple overtime na pala si Sedel tsaka si Coach Christian.
Ah, yeah, yung sa San Juan,
San
right?
Juan, yeah.
San Juan, right. That one was crazy.
Bonifacio from the elbow, one dribble pull-up is money for the big man, and Warren Bonifacio now in double figures with 10.
Now, I like this release of Warren Bonifacio. Calmly, one dribble, escape, calmly releasing, not minding that defense of James Una. He knows you're not going to reach me on this shot.
And that is where he is at his best, when he is calm, composed, and controlled. He extends this lead back up to 5 for the Voyagers. Check out our LGR fan outfit of the game, brought to you by LGR Sportswear, the official outfitter of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
Now, this is going to be interesting how, well, we still do have a lot of time.
Next 3 games for the Sikat, they have Rizal on July 5, July 16 going up against the Parañaque Patriots, and 10 days after that, they will face the hot streaking Abra Weavers.
Oh, yes. That is going to be a good one.
Second hottest team in the league behind league leaders Nueva Ecija. 59-54, Sumang turns the corner. Cruz, can he finally get one? Wala pa rin, galing sa labas. 0 out of 5 now, ito si CBC.
I thought Roy Sumang already had that right side of the floor for him to go in and take a layup.
Tabi and Bonifacio working the 2-man game. Tabi, he traveled there. Slipped his pivot foot as he drove to the baseline.
Now another chance here for Zamboanga to try to trim this down. They are going to use some clock since this defense is a little bit extended. Once they get to the front, you got to be aggressive attacking. Kanina feeling ko talaga may layup na si si Roy Sumang going right side. They've been deprived of that right side penetrate.
Lawrence Victoria and Elvin Chan
Yes.
among the injured players for the Pasay Voyagers. Zamboanga with 6 turnovers, Pasay already with 11, and yet they continue to hold the lead here, up by 5. Sawat, fouled there by Cyrus Tabi.
Now that's the third time we've seen that guy from Zamboanga coming out of the corner and successfully driving towards the middle of the lane. So what that tells me is that somehow that action, Voyagers have not covered so far.
Sawat gets it at the block. He decks Salenga. Offensive foul on Abdul Sawat. Zamboanga wants a flop.
I think that was also a flop. We'll see. It looked like, at least from the naked eye, from our vantage point, that the contact was anticipated. See that again. That wasn't enough, right?
Tough to call.
And it was not straight through the chest.
Well, you could argue that he lowered his shoulder to si Abdul Sawat.
Yes,
but
agree.
Our referees will consult the review table to see what the proper call should be. And it's going to be very crucial, especially it's just a 5-point game and Zamboanga's breathing down Pasay's throats.
Because to me, it looked like he was going to the side of Salenga.
At sinasabi ng Zamboanga, pangatlong beses na raw yan sa laro na to. Both coaches using this time to huddle up their players. The Voyagers trying to get back on the winning track, while Zamboanga looking to win back-to-back games after that tough loss to Nueva Ecija in Palayan City. They were also tested and pushed to the limit by Bataan. In fact, the Risers looked like they were primed to win that game.
That's right. And in that game, they won just by 2 points. These last 3 games have been pretty close for Zamboanga. 1 by 5 against Batangas. Nueva Ecija, they lost by 1, and they won by a couple of points on Bataan. Bataan. And the scoring has been pretty much the same. This one's pretty low at 54 and 59. And that just tells you how much of their offensive game has actually been taken out by the Voyagers.
Oh, mainly it's really the 3-point shot that has not been
Exactly.
on point. A main pillar of the success of their offense in this recent run of theirs.
The way I see it, if I base it on their previous games, they pretty much has, moving the ball on sprays. That's why they make the threes.
Okay, so I just heard from referee Maynard Centeno. The final verdict is it's going to be still an offensive foul on Abdul Sawat, but Jasper Salenga will also be called for a technical foul for faking a foul. That's the first time I've heard that kind of sequence of calls.
Oh,
Offensive foul
yeah,
on number
that's
17.
the
Abdul
first time I've
Sawat.
heard of that too.
Technical foul is called on Jasper Salenga for faking a foul.
So, in my understanding, Zamboanga will still be awarded a free throw here. They should be
I
awarded
think
a free
so.
throw.
Yeah, it should be. But the thing is, those two kind of confusing though. You call a foul on one guy and you call a faking a foul on the other. That's how I view that. He was actually trying to go around Jasper Salenga. I keep mentioning Pat Salenga.
Si Pat Salenga, hindi
nga.
magko-commit ng offensive
Oo nga.
foul, coach.
Pero magkakilala na sila.
Ay, oh,
Si Pat at si Jasper.
Hindi naman daw sila related eh.
Oo nga. Pero shooter yun si Pat ah.
Talaga?
Photographer eh.
Nadali mo ako.
Nandali kita. Pareho silang shooter.
Ito, shooter to na nasa free throw line ngayon. Ito si JP Kawilan. He will shoot the technical.
JP Kawilans. First trip to the line.
And I do believe Zamboanga... Oh no, they don't keep possession here. Because the old rule used to be when the other team gets a technical, after the free throw, you get to award the basketball also.
So you get the possession.
Yeah. Not the case anymore now. 59 to 55. Pasay with possession. Bonifacio, 10 points, 8 rebounds in this game. Handed off to Cyrus Tabi, who has performed equally well for Pasay in this game.
2 on the ball.
Bonifacio from downtown. Why not? Warren Bonifacio.
That's the second time that Cyrus Tabi has made a quick decision every time he's got 2 players on him with the ball and swinging it ball reversal over to Warren Bonifacio.
Pasay giving Zamboanga a dose of their own medicine in this game. 9 3-pointers for the Voyagers, while Zamboanga only 5 to show for from the outside.
9th assist of the game, that one by Cyrus Tabi. Look at that, that spin. You gotta pick your poison right there. You have, was that Sanko who was trying to dive down the gut, and Warren taking the 3. If you're the defender, who do you choose?
Kawilan uncorks from the outside, airballs that 3. Kawilan still without a 3-point shot in this game. He's 0 out of 3 from downtown. His team down by 7 points, pero marami pa namang oras dito sa laro na to. 6 and 25 remaining in this game. Bonifacio hands it off to Coronel. AJ looking for options. It's now with Tabi. Not a lot of time on their shot clock. From the outside. Buzzer beating 3 from Cyrus Tabi to beat the shot clock.
Oh my God. 3 out of 5 from 3. Cyrus Tabi, he just continues to elevate his game.
Back-to-back hits for Pasay from downtown. They now have 10 3-pointers in this game. A near triple-double for the former Zamboanga player, Cyrus Tabi. Shot clock violation against Zamboanga.
Wow, what a game Cyrus Tabi is playing. He is 1 assist away from a triple-double. See that setup right here. He just went straight up. That looper of a shot, really finding nothing but bottom of the net. And this is why at the top of the coverage, I told you guys, he's one of the really good shooting guards here in the MPBL.
Coach Bong Ramos with super time here. The lead is 10 para sa Pasay. Check out our special deal from 1xBet when you scan the QR code and claim your special offer. The Pasay Voyagers in the midst of a 6-0 run, a courtesy of 2 threes from Cyrus Tabi and Warren Bonifacio. Bonifacio with 13 points built on 3 3-pointers, including 8 rebounds and a couple of assists, while Cyrus Tabi has also been spectacular tonight. Bonifacio has been a beneficiary of a lot of passes galing dito kay Cyrus Tabi.
No, let me tell you about those 2 guys. Warren Bonifacio in the last 3 games has been 0 out of 5 from 3 after going 3 out of 7 versus Bataan. And now it's really a good sign that, you know, that shooting is back from 3 para dito kay Warren Bonifacio. Meanwhile, when you talk about Cyrus Tabi, double-digit scoring in the last 5 games, near double-double in 8 games, near triple-double in 5 games, double-double twice versus Manila, where he was 10 points and 10 rebounds, and then with Basilan, 12 points and 10 rebounds, and it looks like he's, you know, pretty much headed for a triple-double tonight.
Both Bonifacio and Tawilan crashed to the floor on the baseline. Whistle was blown. It's going to be a foul laban kay JP Kawilan.
10-point deficit, but Zamboanga is pretty much still in this.
Oh, definitely. You cannot relax against the Zamboanga Sikat team. If you're Pasay, you have to be very wary of the capability of Zamboanga to come back. 10 points is not enough. Salenga
Too much
likes this
space.
matchup against James Una.
That's too much space.
Salenga doesn't go for the outside shot. He tries to take Una on the dribble, but turns it over. Altamirano picks it up. Sumang goes to CBC. Back to Roy. Screen set by Cruz.
There you go.
Cruz passes up on the shot. Goes to Altamirano. Draws the foul and gets the basket. Itchy Altamirano trying to breathe some life right now into Zamboanga.
And that really left side of the floor drive is the only one that's being allowed by the Pasay Voyagers. They're pushing it to the sideline or to the baseline, and so Ichi goes on a little footwork action, able to misdirect and go middle of the floor for that end one.
Despite the condition that he suffered in their last game after having that whiplash, he has powered through and has stayed strong, contributing right now for the Zamboanga Sikat. 6 points in the game. He completes that 3-point play. Down by 7. Ito Zamboanga. Sanko. Back to Cyrus. Tabi.
I think.
Looks inside. Bumagsak si Coronel. Nasalo pa rin ang pasa sa sahig. But he turns it over to James Una. Sawat picks up his dribble. He's in trouble. He needs a friend.
Right.
Oh, Tabi picks up the steal. Cyrus Tabi trying to outrun CBC. Tabi, basket and one. Oh, the heart of this Pasay squad showing here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, at that moment, he pretty much was in the trap area. Cyrus comes in and helps out, able to tip that ball, release it, beating CBC on a foot race. You just love this little guy playing his heart out for Pasay.
That was our fast break of the game, brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners and Extreme Magpalamig. Free installation for split-type air conditioners.
And he continues to be consistent, Javi. And, you know, what you love about it is the effort to try and keep in pace in this game.
And he brings the lead of Pasay back up to 10. 19 points in the game para kay Cyrus Tabi playing against his former squad. Altamirano doubled, pressured, but was fouled there by the Pasay defense. Coach Marlon Martin looks like he's going to challenge. Successfully naging challenge na kanina. That's why he has one more left. Altamirano will be awarded 2 free throws if the challenge will be unsuccessful. Meantime, we're going to take a break. 68-58 is the score. Coach Marlon Martin and the Pasay Voyagers challenged that last call.
The review for the challenge was inconclusive,
Inconclusive,
and it has been
naging desisyon ng
nullified.
mga referees. So Itchy Altamirano will still be taking the 2 shots here. Which means Coach Marlon will still have one more challenge later on.
Right. Well, you know, one other thing that's missing for Zamboanga in this game is bench scoring. They are only at 18 bench points. They normally are at 47. So clear, laki ng disparity, you know. And these guys, as you kind of expect to score coming off support from the bench.
This free throw of the game brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Pasay has turned the tables on a lot of stat departments in this game against Zamboanga.
Right. And even the three-point makes, they are -5 versus their average. The average is normally 10, but right now they're only at 5.
Salenga commits the error. Sumang into their front court, leaves it for Carl Bryant Cruz. Pinataw dun ni Mark Sanko.
Well, you immediately see Roy Sumang apologizing to Ichi because Ichi was already fading to the corner. He was holding that three, waiting for the skip, but never got to him.
Especially, you know, after scoring 5 straight points.
Yes.
You would think that Altamirano really primed for another bucket in transition.
Like you say, you have to ride the hot hand, and right now, and that happens to be Ichi.
Carl Bryant Cruz is definitely not the hot hand here for Zamboanga. He has missed all of his field goal attempts. 0 out of 5 from the field, 0 out of 4 from the outside. Also missed his first free throw. That's his first point as a member of the Zamboanga Sikat.
I say he's still calibrating himself.
Oh
with
yeah, for
Zamboanga.
sure. I mean, he's also missed a lot of games. He's only played 3 games for Parañaque this season.
Yes. And eventually he's going to get into that groove and going to peak just at the right time for Zamboanga. And those, you know, maybe later in the later games this regular season and then again in the playoffs.
Coach Bong Ramos and Coach Egay hoping that CBC would find his touch in time for the playoffs, especially. And there you see our VIP row. Commissioner Kenneth Duremdes, Sir Joe Ramos, Rudy Distrito, Emer Oreta, joined by Ms. Kachua and Sir Joe Bentay of the Zamboanga Sikat. Bonifacio, high looper of a shot. Trying to bail out Pasay once again, but Zamboanga will gain that stop. 7 ang hinahabol nila dito. 3-possession ball game with 3 minutes and 20 remaining. Still a lot of time.
Si Warren Bonifacio, pag tinignan mo tumira, it almost feels like he's not aiming for the rim. No? Parang inahabol niya yung height ng arc ng tira niya.
Una, shot, no good. Overshoots the mark. Coronel goes down.
And more importantly, for the defense of the Voyagers, Sawat never touched that ball.
Both Reverente and Lasco telling their teammates on the floor to use the time here. 2 minutes and 46 ang natitira. Tabi has Una on him. Cyrus gets the step. Tabi able to find a way. He gets fouled. Zamboanga, they're just looking lost out here.
Yeah. And he had Sanko diving from the backside as well. And so, you know, Tabi could have dished that over to him. That would have given him his 10th assist. Or triple-double. But again, it's really Cyrus understanding that I'm one of the hottest hands right now, and so I gotta go and finish.
Pasay now 9 out of 11 from the free throw line, while Zamboanga shooting only 12 out of 22 from the charity stripe. Tabi playing perhaps his best game of the season in this one. 20 points, make that 21, along with 10 rebounds and 9 assists. He's a pass away from a triple-double.
Matter of fact, this is his first time to get to 20 this season. The highest he's gotten was around 17 when he went up against Davao a couple of games ago.
So Pasay carries this 9-point lead heading into the timeout. 2 minutes and 39 to go in this game. We'll be right back. Pasay will be facing the Muntinlupa Cagers on July 10. 6 days after that, they will go up against Tropang Pasig. And a week after, they will be matching up against the Binyan Tatak Gel. And the Voyagers looking good here in the final minutes of this game. They are up by 9 points against the Zamboanga Sikat. Can they hold on for the victory?
Yeah. And one could say when you mentioned that schedule of Pasay, a little bit lighter compared to, because they've done for the most part ng mga top teams, eh, no? Oh, that's a travel.
Oh, the Sikat, their turnovers have been haunting them here in the fourth quarter, although they haven't been turning the ball over as much compared to Pasay. But those errors here in the fourth quarter have made it difficult for them to really make a strong comeback.
And that paint has been compacted a lot of times. Every time that ball's going downhill, they try and compact that. And so, especially on the right side of the floor, they're not allowing straight line drives to the right.
Couple of blocks there, galing kay Ichio Altamirano and Jordan Rios. Quickly now into their front court. Ichi drops it off. Una with a basket, 63-70.
There you go, one of the cleanest pass so far that we've seen underneath on that weak side left dunker spot.
Coronel wants it against Gabat. AJ kicks it out. Bonifacio makes the move on James. The strip, ball is loose. Rios picks it up. Bonifacio attacks from the outside. Jordan, the triple, that's good! Jordan Rios makes it a 10-point lead once again.
Wow, Jordan Rios, he pretty much is a 40% three-point shooter, no doubt about it. He can knock it down. Earlier he took a shot, almost got in. This time he makes it.
11 three-pointers in the game for Pasay, while they've only allowed Zamboanga 5 in this game. Another miss galing sa Sikat. 5 out of 25 now from downtown.
And to compound things for Zamboanga, they missed 10 free throws. Man, that's big, considering how this game's been played.
Yeah, that's basically the ball game right there as Rios continues to put what could be the finishing touches for Pasay. 75-63.
I guess the lone question that is not yet answered is, will Cyrus Tabi get to a triple-double?
Gabat on courts, short on the three-pointer. And that's just been the story of the game here for the Sikat. Pasay has allowed them that outside shot, but Zamboanga just unable to convert most of them. This is our assist of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Yeah, and when the threes are not falling, I guess that's the question now for Zamboanga. Where do you get your points? Because that's been primarily where they get a lot of their scoring, three-point makes. And so they score roughly about 83 points per game, and they get 30 of that from threes. And the rest from free throws and perimeter makes.
They have certainly been unrelenting here. Itong Pasay Voyagers, even up to these final moments, the intensity defensively has been shown. And another miss from downtown. Sumang, that's no good. And Zamboanga will fall to their fourth loss, only their fourth loss of this season, while itong Pasay back on the winning track, picking up win number 11. Such a hard-fought game after going scoreless in the first 5 minutes.
Right. Well, I'm looking at the shooting stats of these guys from Zamboanga, and you didn't see a good shooting game from Kalisay, Kawilan. You know they can make more than what they usually make. Sumang is a 42.9 three-point shooter at this point, but Sumang in this game, how many did he got? He's 1 out of 5. It's 20%, which is a far cry from his normal averages.
Our best player of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. few more game with 1xbet. At sino pa nga ba, Coach?
Oo.
Cyrus Tabi with a near triple-double, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists.
He now has 6 games where he has very near triple-double game. And just a superb performance by that little guy called Cyrus Tabi.
I want a bounce-back victory for the Pasay Voyagers. Lots of great performers as well para sa kanila sa laro na to. Warren Bonifacio coming up with a near double-double, 13 and 9. Jordan Rios came in the fourth quarter and put him some key baskets. Jasper Chalenga was also crucial in that second period para sa kanila. Also, Brian Hilario coming up with a huge game off the bench, 11 points. Our best player of the game, Cyrus Tabi, is at courtside with Miss Cindy Crespo.
Thanks so much, Javi. Coach Mike. Cyrus, congratulations. Almost a triple-double sana ngayong gabi, no? Isang assist na lang. Pero umpisa pa lang napansin na namin ang taas ng kumpiyansa mo, hindi nawala yan hanggang dulo. At ang ganda rin ng mga celebrations mo in this game, especially that 3-point shot in the fourth quarter. Anong tumatakbo sa isip mo while celebrating like that?
Wala, ini-enjoy ko lang yung game. Inspire lang ako kasi andyan yung fiancé ko ngayon. Okay na siya, na nakanood na ulit siya sa game. Ayun, binigay ko lang yung best ko para sa team. Yun nga dahil marami na wala sa aming guard, so kailangan kong mag-extra effort sa game. Yun.
Cyrus, I'm not sure kung alam mo, no, pero 4 games lang so far this season ang hindi ka nakapuntos ng double digits. The rest, double digits na in points, no? I'm sure na mas kailangan niya ni Coach Marlon ngayon, yung tulong mo na ganyan.
Usually hindi ko naman iniisip yung stats eh. Ang sa akin kung ano lang mag-contribute ko, ano matulong ko sa team, ay ibibigay ko lang 100% ko sa Pasay Voyagers.
And regardless, ang ganda pa rin ng stats mo ngayong gabi. Cyrus, sino gusto mong batiin at pasalamatan?
Unang-una, nagpapasalamat ako kay Lord at nagpapasalamat po kami sa lahat ng taga-Pasay, sa lahat ng mga sumusuporta, lalong-lalo na kay Sir Egay and Mayor Emmy Calixto Rubiano, Ma'am Lenny Rubiano, and Expedia Management and Investment, My Pet Space Pet Hotel, JVA Security and Investigation Agency, NCR Dental Clinic, and the second floor bar and lounge, Capitol Restaurant, Met Park Sports Center, Tela Athletics. Sa lahat ng mga sumusuporta, lalo na kala coach, sa coaches namin, sa mga bosses namin, and sa team MLBN, kay Boss Charlon Lucetas, kay Boss Anthony, kay Boss Chris, Bowlerhood, sa lahat ng mga kalbayog noon, maupay na gabi sa iyo, Dida. Sa mama ko na sa Puerto Princesa, Palawan, sa lahat ng kamag-anak ko, maraming salamat. Kay Coach, kay Michael Garcia ng Plainview, maraming salamat po.
Pinabilib tayo ni Cyrus Tabi, our best player of the game, brought to us by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Sid. Congratulations to Cyrus Tabi and the Pasay Voyagers for getting back on the winning track. Our games tomorrow happening down south at the Quezon Convention Center in Lucena. At 4 o'clock, we have Pasig City going up against the Manila Batang Quiapo. Right after that, it's going to be the matchup between the Batangas City Tanduay Rum Masters and the Quezon City Galleries Taipan. And at 8 o'clock p.m., it's going to be a southern showdown between the home squad, the Quezon Huskers, and the Jinsan Warriors. Thank you so much for joining us sa aming coverage dito sa Pasay Astrodome. For my partner, Coach Mike Perez, our courtside reporter, Miss Cindy Crespo, and for all the hardworking men and women of our production crew, this has been Javi Palanya saying good night from Pasay City. Ito po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.